You are 9 years old, the first time you see it up close. Spartans dragging a woman screaming from the hut next door. It isn't new. It's just the first time it happens close enough that you can't pretend it's only a story. It's past midnight. You're curled against your mother in the straw corner when torchlight slices through the cracks in the door. Boots hit the lane. A fist bangs wood. Then the neighbour's door bursts open. She gets one scream out before a hand crushes it quiet. They yank her by the hair like she's a sack of grain. "Too slow at the last feast," one of them says, like he's talking about spilled wine. "She'll learn." Her infant wails inside the hut. Nobody goes to pick him up. Your mother's arm clamps around you. Not comforting, hiding. "Close your eyes," she whispers, but her voice shakes. You close them anyway, and still hear everything. Boots, laughter, the scrape of bare feet, then horses pulling away like thunder. And the worst part, nobody in your hut screams. Not you, not your mother, not your father. Because helots learn early. Sound is a kind of protest, and protest gets remembered. In the morning, she stumbles back with torn cloth and a face that won't look at anyone. She doesn't even limp like she's injured. She walks like her body is somewhere else, and she's just borrowing it. She goes straight to the well and scrubs herself in freezing water until her skin turns raw. The village pretends it's normal. Nobody asks questions out loud. Nobody wants to be the person who gets noticed next. That's your first rule, learned before you're old enough to name it. Helot girls don't own their bodies. Sparta can claim them. And if you resist, your whole family pays. But what really turns your stomach isn't just what they did. It's how quickly the world rearranges itself afterward. Aunties pass the woman without looking too long. Men keep their heads down. People speak softer, like the lane itself has ears. Your mother doesn't say, "That's evil." She says something worse. "Don't stare. Don't remember her too loudly." To understand why you were already afraid at 9, you have to go back to the day you were born. You enter the world in a crooked mud brick hut pressed against endless fields. Your mother whispers your name like it's something she has to hide. Your father leaves before sunrise to report the birth. Later, a man arrives, the overseer, the quota man. He isn't a soldier. He doesn't need armor. He carries a wax tablet like a weapon. "A girl," he says, smiling like he just found extra grain in a storehouse. He scratches a mark. Not your name, just proof you exist. "2 prophets," he mutters. "Hands now, and later, babies." That's what you are to them. Labor today, breeding tomorrow. That tablet becomes the invisible god of your childhood. It decides how much barley you're allowed to keep. It decides how many jars of oil must leave your village before you ever taste any. It decides whether your father gets beaten for missing grain that was never there. You grow up on smoke, straw, and hunger. Winters bite through the hut walls. Summers press down like a hand on the back of your neck. Your mother's hands are always moving, grinding barley, hauling water, scrubbing until her knuckles crack. And she only remembers how to be gentle for a few seconds at a time. At 4, your father forces your eyes to the dirt when Spartans ride past. "Don't look up," he whispers. "Girls get noticed first." At 6, you watch a woman return from a summons with bruises she tries to hide and a silence that doesn't lift for days. At 8, you learn a smaller cruelty, the way Spartan children look at you. Not like you're scary, not like you're human, like you're furniture that moves. At 10, you stop being a child completely. Water jars bend your spine, Barley stones blister your palms. Fieldwork makes you strong in a way that isn't safe. You learn the rhythm of the fields the way other children learn songs. Sun up, pull weeds, tie bundles, carry loads. Midday, gulp water, swallow dust, keep moving. Sundown, grind grain until your arms shake. Night, sleep lightly because boots can make any time day. Your mother teaches you the girl rules while you work. Never walk alone. Never meet their eyes. Learn which herbs delay a belly Sparta will count as tax. And she teaches you another kind of rule, one helot mothers never say with pride: how to look smaller. You learn to hunch your shoulders when you walk past men. You learn to tie your hair in a way that hides your face. You learn to step aside before someone orders you to, because if you can predict humiliation, it hurts less. At 12, blood comes for the first time. You think you're dying. Your mother doesn't comfort you. She hands you cloth and says, "Wash it, burn it, leave no proof." By afternoon, the overseer knows anyway. He grips your waist like he's checking produce. "Now you're counted twice," he says, tapping his tablet. "Don't waste it." And your mother doesn't cry in front of him. She just nods. Because helots survive by acting like their pain is normal. And then you learn the fear that doesn't need an officer. Some years, when the air turns sharp and the fields go quiet, the adults start moving differently. Lamps go out early. Doors get barred. Men stop walking the roads after dusk. Because Sparta has another way to manage helots. Killing nights. You don't hear the full name at first. You only hear the rule. If the night feels wrong, your mother says, don't go outside. Your father talks in fragments, only when he thinks you're asleep. He says, young Spartan men go out like ghosts. They hide by day. They move by night. They carry knives like it's part of growing up. On those nights, the countryside feels hunted. You don't always hear screams. Sometimes you hear nothing at all. And that's worse, because silence means someone disappeared without a sound. A man you saw yesterday, gone. A cousin who went to check a fence, never came back. And in the morning, everyone pretends they don't know why there's an empty spot at the grinding stone, because knowing is dangerous too. At 14, it happens to you. A Spartan officer arrives at dusk. He doesn't bother lowering his voice. "Her," he says, pointing at you like a tool on a shelf. "Tonight." Your mother freezes with the grinding stone in her hands. Your father stares at the wall, because staring anywhere else feels like death. Your mother dresses you in the cleanest cloth you own. She ties it with shaking fingers. She doesn't say, "Be brave." She doesn't say, "Come back." She just touches your cheek once, quick, like she's afraid to be seen loving you, and when she lets go, your skin feels cold where her hand was. You walk into the night with their shadows behind you. You return before dawn with your body aching and your mind far away. You go straight to the well and scrub until your skin burns. Not because it fixes anything, but because you don't know what else to do. The water is freezing. Your hands shake. Your teeth chatter. And you keep scrubbing anyway. Because washing is the only kind of control you're allowed to pretend you have. That morning, you learn the second truth. This wasn't a one-time horror. It's a system. And systems have schedules. At 16, you're married. Not for love, but for survival. 2 helots together means shared work, shared hunger, and someone to drag you up when you collapse. Your husband is not cruel. That's what makes it worse. He learns your flinch without asking why. You learn his silence without demanding words. You patch each other up. You both pretend tomorrow is something you can negotiate with. Pregnancy comes fast. There's no glow, no celebration. The Helot child is not joy here. It's a number, another mark on a tablet, another mouth to feed on rations that were never enough. Your first son is born during a storm. You bite down on cloth to keep the sound inside you. Your husband holds your hand like that's the only rebellion allowed. When morning comes, you report the birth. The overseer scratches a mark and says, "Good." Then he looks up. "Next one soon?" The years blur into the same rhythm: work, hunger, fear, and being counted. You give birth twice more. One baby doesn't survive the winter. The third becomes your daughter, small, bright-eyed, and already living inside rules she didn't choose. And this is where the fear changes shape. Because now it isn't only your body on the line, it's theirs. By 20, your arms are hard from labour, but exhaustion lives under your skin. Spartan eyes linger when you bend to lift a jar. The overseer's tablet keeps filling. And Sparta doesn't only control Helots in the dark. It controls you in daylight too, through humiliation. They don't just punish Helots in private. They stage you. They bring Helots out in the dogskin cap and rough hides, a costume meant to scream "slave" before you even speak. They haul people into public spaces and turn suffering into a lesson. Sometimes it's forced labour on display. Helots made to carry heavy loads while Spartans watch, laughing when someone stumbles. Sometimes it's beatings that happen, because that's the rule. And sometimes it's humiliation meant for Spartan children. They force Helots to drink too much strong wine, then parade them as a warning. Look how ugly a drunk man becomes. Not because Sparta cares about your health, because Sparta wants its children trained on your shame. You watch it once. A man swaying, people laughing, Spartan boys pointing like it's a theatre show, and the Helot's face, part rage, part resignation, like he knows he's been turned into a lesson instead of a person. That's when you understand. Even your embarrassment can be stolen and used. So when festival time comes, you already know what it really is. Not celebration. Control. Helots are ordered to perform and embarrass themselves while Spartans laugh. You're made to move when they tell you, stop when they tell you, lower your eyes when they tell you. It isn't about tradition. It's about reminding you that your body is theirs to command. One wrong step, and the whip reminds you what your life belongs to. That night, your husband wraps your cuts in silence. He doesn't say, "We should leave," because there is nowhere to go. He doesn't say, "We'll fight," because fighting is how Helot villages disappear. He just wraps you, and you both breathe like breathing is work. And you both understand the same impossible rule. Any beauty makes you a target. Any ugliness makes you disposable. There is no safe way to exist. At 25, your daughter starts growing pretty. The wrong kind of pretty. You catch Spartan boys whispering at the well, pointing like they're already deciding what she is. Your stomach drops. You teach her what you were taught. Eyes down, walk fast, never be alone. Make yourself smaller. You teach her how to carry a jar without swaying. You teach her to keep her face neutral, never too happy, never too sad. Because emotion attracts attention, and attention is a hook. She cries because she doesn't understand why her mother sounds afraid of her face. And you hate yourself for it. But you do it anyway. Your son is 12 now, the age you were when the tablet started counting you differently. He's strong from work, and strength is dangerous too. You notice Spartan boys watching him like he's a future problem. That fear is a different kind. Not what they want from him, but what they'll do if they think he might want anything back. Quotas rise, grain disappears, hunger comes back louder. You and your husband skip meals so the children can eat, and the nights get worse again. Not every night, but enough that fear becomes routine. Some autumns, word spreads that the ephors have declared war on Helots again, meaning a killing isn't treated like a crime if the right Spartan does it. On those weeks, the countryside feels hunted. Your husband stops walking alone after dusk. Your son learns to avoid the roads. Your daughter learns to keep her breath quiet when horses pass. You start listening to your own village like it's a body. A dog barking too long. A door closing too fast. A conversation that stops when you walk by. Then one night, the officer returns, and this time he points at your daughter. Her, he says, as casually as ordering wine. Your daughter's fingers clutch your sleeve for half a second. A tiny child gesture inside a grown girl's body. And you almost do something stupid. You almost step forward. But you see your son behind you. You see your husband's face. And you remember how Sparta punishes families, not individuals. So you don't move. And that will haunt you longer than anything else. She goes shaking. She comes back before dawn, scrubbing herself at the well until her skin bleeds. Her eyes don't fully return. Your husband starts sleeping near the door, not because it helps, because it's all he can do. He makes promises he can't keep. Your daughter pretends to believe him because pretending is sometimes the only way to breathe. Your 30s arrive with aching joints and a tiredness that never leaves. Your husband's cough gets deeper. You both keep working until your bodies start refusing you in small, humiliating ways. Your hands cramp while grinding grain. Your knees throb while carrying water. Your back locks up in the field and you have to pretend it didn't, because pain is suspicious and weakness is expensive. You start seeing the future in the children's faces. Your son doesn't laugh the way he used to. Your daughter doesn't meet anyone's eyes anymore. And then, quietly, you become a warning too. Not the loud, staged kind, the slow kind. At 40, you collapse in the field with a water jar beside you. The sky is bright, the earth is dry. People are around you, and still, when you fall, nobody rushes like you matter. Helots have learned to survive by not making scenes. The overseer doesn't run over. He doesn't shout. He watches like a man noticing broken equipment. Invisible is the final stage. Invisible means no use. No use means you're already halfway gone. Your son carries the jar home. He looks back once with the same confusion you once had. The confusion of a child realizing the world is a machine and people are parts. And you understand the ugliest truth of all. Sparta doesn't need to kill you to win. It just needs to use you until you disappear. Sparta keeps glowing. Lanterns still hang over training grounds. Somewhere, another hut whispers a girl's name like a prayer. Another tablet waits for its next mark. The cycle doesn't end. It just changes hands.